What's going on, everybody? I'm here with Mr.
William Johnson.
And congratulations, you finished top 32 at YCS Richmond playing what?
Salamangreat.
That is the wonderful pick. I've been blessed to see you during the Swiss rounds right next to each other. I was too busy trying not to get bodied in my match, but you were bodying your match when I was glancing over a few times. So what did you finish on after Swiss?
28th.
28th place? Nice. X2, right?
Yep.
Well, congratulations. Before we get into the list, any shout-outs you want to give out to people?
Yeah, I mean, can we maybe do the shout-outs at the end?
You can if you want, but people like to be, like...
All right, we'll do it now. So, yeah, of course, Brendan Outlaw here. And Brian Dong, he's around somewhere, probably playing giant card events, yeah. Of course, the Curio Cavern boys, Jay and Rod and Andy and Antoine, all of those guys, so yeah.
All right, well, let's jump right in.
Alrighty. So, that one, because obviously...
Well, what is it? Give us the names.
Salamangreat Gazelle. You play 3 spinny. I guess some people could cut it, but no, play 3. You want to see these two in combination, and so that you play your 3 of them. I played 1 Falco, and I think that was the only one of, or might have been another one, but I think Falco's not good enough to justify more than 1, but I think it's good enough that you should still be playing it. 2 Foxy and 2 Jack Jaguar. I'm not completely sold on this ratio, but I did have games where people will there could be only 1 or summon limit, and if I have the Foxy in hand, they'll activate the floodgate on the summon of Gazelle, and at that point, if my only Foxy is in hand, it's that's a bit of an issue because I want that in the graveyard. So I'll send. That's why you play the 2 Foxy and the 2 Jack Jaguar. It's kind of annoying if your opponent DD Crows it. You do play other ways to deal with that, but I think this was fine. You also want to make sure you have enough good discard targets. So you play your 2 Fire and 1 Weasel. 2 Fire. Fire's not really your starter in this particular build. You want to summon it off of Mirage Stalio, and you get to Mirage Stalio off of Spinny and Gazelle, so that's why you play max copies of those. And then your search target for Fire is pretty much always Weasel, because Weasel just summons himself right out of hand, and at that point you have Phalanx, Stalio, Fire plus Weasel, and that's for material so that you could go into Raging Phoenix and other salads. So
What does Weasel do in grave?
You'll see. We'll talk about Weasel's graveyard effect a little later. Also, playing Fire as your starter loses really hard to draw, because then you can't link it away into Phalanx and then Phalanx search Sanctuary. That's just so bad. So this is the better way to play it, I think. Bufferlo is the best normal summon this game has ever had. I don't know why any Salad players are doing anything different. It triggers regardless of what you do to it, unless you shuffle it to the deck. But yeah, other than that, this card is crazy. It does everything you want it to. It also digs, which is kind of important. We'll show why in a little bit. For hand traps, we have 3 Ash, 3 Droll, and 3 Imperm. Those were the main deck hand traps. I think this was good. This was solid, throughout the entire tournament. I don't think I would change anything about the hand trap ratios. You play your 3 Circle, because obviously. 1 Will, 1 Sanctuary. Those are your Salad spell traps. Play Called By. That was the 41st card. I guess it's theoretically cuttable, but there's a lot of times that it came up both offensively and defensively that I think it's still probably worth playing. And then the last spell card here is Fire Recovery. You'll notice I said last spell card because we do not play Signet Mining. That card also loses to Droll, and loses. It is the only thing that causes this deck to lose to Ash as well. So just don't play it. Don't play Signet Mining. Fire Recovery has two really important effects. One, you can target a fire monster in your graveyard, summon it, and then send a card from your hand to the graveyard. That's really important because you can summon either Flame Buffalo or Ash Blossom even in order to get to Mirage Stalio. If you're in like a tight spot, like let's say you just have Spinny plus Fire Recovery, if you used Ash Blossom last turn, then you can still get to Mirage Stalio and still go full combo after that. The other really important effect is its graveyard effect. That is once per turn. That first effect isn't once per turn, by the way. You can banish it and target 3 banished or in the graveyard fire monsters, shuffle them into the deck and draw one, which is just crazy good card advantage. Also draws, important with Buffalo. The other cool thing about this is it plays around Nib as well. I had a game where I went into the Blazing Phoenix and the opponent nibbed me before I could relink it, and I go, okay, anyway, Fire Recovery, send a card from my hand to the graveyard, summon back the Blazing Phoenix, and then relink
Do it again.
Yep, it just didn't matter. It was, Fire Recovery is infinitely better than Signet Mining. So I just don't play Signet Mining anymore. It's not a good card in this deck. Obviously, you play your 2 Salamangreat traps, and then the spice of this deck is that we play Gozen Rivalry. The reason this is really good is because of all the draw power that you have between Fire Recovery, Flame Buffalo, and Weasel's Graveyard Effect. So Weasel's Graveyard Effect is that when you link summon a Salamangreat monster, you can target another Salamangreat in your graveyard, summon it to your opponent's field, and then Weasel goes to the bottom of the deck and you draw one. At that point, you have drawn pretty much all the cards that you're going to draw. Like you've used your Fire Recoveries, you've used Weasel, you've used Flame Buffalo. So you've seen all of the cards that you're going to see. At that point, you know, do I have a Gozen or Rivalry in hand? If you do, you set them, and you link away your Mirage Stalio that's on the field, and you do not bounce your opponent's card. And then you Gozen or Rivalry lock them, and then they just can't play, because if they try to attack, Sanctuary also has a secret effect that actually is relevant here. So if your opponent attacks with their monster, you can pay 1,000 life points, target your Link monster, and reduce its attack to 0. Then you gain the life points of that Link monster. So their monster stays on the field, and then you'll use Balinks to protect that Link monster. And then, okay, now they've lost their battle phase, and they still can't summon anything. So it's effectively an Ibly lock, or Zombie Rivalry lock, if any of you are familiar with that. So that's sort of the theory behind the deck.
Okay. And you said it was 41 cards in total?
41, yeah. I guess it's possible to go down to 40 by cutting like a Jack Jaguar or a Foxy, but I don't really want to be cutting discard targets because you want to make sure that your Buffalo and your Fire Recovery has like useful things to discard as opposed to just any card.
Okay.
So, and by useful I mean like things that do things in the graveyard. So, extra deck or side? Side.
Doesn't matter.
Okay. Side deck was pretty simple. 3 DD Crow, 3 Nib, 3 Talents. Talents was more for like going first. I never really sided it in going second because everybody's nibbing you, and they're also, for some reason, people think hand traps are good against Salad. They're not. Like, I guess you can imperm the Raging Phoenix when he gets summoned. You can nib. Obviously, nib is good, but that you're always turning on Talents, and then yeah, you just rip a card out of your opponent's hand, and then they can't play. It's like, okay, your nib says I can't play. Now you can't play. Same theory with the Floodgates. All right, 3 Cosmic. It's possible that this isn't correct. I like it when, you know, my opponent tries to, there can be only one me, and I chain the Cosmic. Also, Cosmic, obviously, you can use going first as well against some decks. So maybe Lightning Storm, maybe Cosmic. I'm not entirely sold. And then Feather Duster is the other back row removal. Because you do lose to, I had a few opponents try to like summon limit, there can be only one me. So I think that was correct. And then you play Rivalry Gozen. These aren't good against every single deck, and so you want to be able to pick and choose which ones are good. So that's why 2/2 in the main and then 1/1 in the side. So side deck I think was pretty darn good, other than maybe the Cosmic and maybe the third copy of Talons could have been something else. Maybe like a Phantasmic is, well, that kind of conflicts with Co's and Rivalry, so. Anyway, extra deck. 3 Balinks, 3 Sunlight Wolf, 2 Heat Leo, 2 Raging Phoenix, 1 Stalio. I think the Salamangreat ratios were pretty much perfect. There's maybe an argument to play a second copy of this because it can get kind of awkward to like shuffle it back. Because at the end of your turn, a lot of times you'll have like an extra Jack Jaguar and you're thinking like, well, do I shuffle the extra Raging Phoenix or do I shuffle Mirage Stalio? And it's kind of like, well, if you had an extra copy of either of these, then you don't have to make that choice, and you're just like, okay, now I'm ready to go next turn completely. So, and there's only one card that I would cut, and you'll see what that is. For the OTK package, we play the Pit Knight Proxy Violet Chimera. My opponents, like, mostly didn't even let me go into this. They just scooped before it happened. I killed one person with it who didn't know what was happening. They were like, okay, so I take 49. Actually, you take 98. Yeah, it's a good package. I think it's significantly better with Salamangreat of Fire since he locks you into fires for the rest of the turn, so you don't have to do like access code, transcode stuff is just awkward now. Like, and this stuff, you know, like they're all cybers, they're all fire, so you're not screwed over by any of your locks, any of your rivalries, goes-ins, whatever. So I think that's the best way to play it. I did play the Abyss Dweller. I don't think I liked it. Theoretically, you can summon it. Obviously, Jack Jaguar, Falco. You do have to like not go for the Raging Phoenix line though if you're summoning it turn 1. I thought maybe I might summon it in a grind game against like Unchained or Tier, but the game tends to end before this would matter. Like, if I have enough resources to summon a Dweller, I'm winning that game anyway. So, yeah, this probably gets cut, and you probably play either a second Stalio or a third Raging Phoenix. That's pretty much the only thing I would change with the extra deck. But yeah, that's the deck profile.
Well, congratulations on placing this. From what I've been told, this is your first event as well?
First top.
First top.
And first day 2.
Nice. So you doubled up on that. Congratulations.
Yep.
And hopefully I see you do more at other previous, upcoming events as well, right?
Yeah, for sure.
All right, take care.